Good evening, everybody, on our recording and our live streaming for like the first time in a year and a half. This is delightful. I'm so happy. A huge thank you to Kealoha Petersen, who was just a gem and a dream. And I'm so glad that he is in this group. Kealoha, I owe you one big time. Anyway, welcome to this special reading of Ronde. We are doing two readings of this. Tonight is the first read, and Thursday will be the second read. Again, I love this read so much. I do have to give a little bit of a content warning regarding what this read is about. If you're not familiar with it, basically it's about relationships between 10 people. Person A, I might as well say person A has sex with person B, et cetera, et cetera. And basically it deals with the lead up and the aftermath. Imagine this, if you will, as a very bad hookup, except for the very end where there is one genuine connection made throughout the rest of the evening. So we are doing everything very tastefully. There is nothing simulated, obviously, on screen. That's why we have our stage directions, but I do have to give that warning just because I don't know who's watching and I don't know, who this recording is going to get shown to, but that is the content warning for now. So please, 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 if for whatever reason you have someone watching that maybe is going to be a little bit uncomfortable tonight, I highly recommend maybe not showing them this read or skipping past the stuff that's going to happen or the content. But anyway, Ronde is a great play. It was a scandalous play that was written in the 1890s. It was actually banned for a time, not in America, but in parts of Europe because of how scandalous it was. I don't think anybody was really expecting to see reality kind of on a stage. Mr. Schnitzler really kind of brought that to life, and it is partly a comedy, partly drama, and partly a satire. We do have a wonderful cast for you tonight. I do love this play. It is very near and dear to my heart because of a college production I did a musical of it in school. I loved it, and I'm just so excited for all of you to watch. So no intermission. Also, we are going straight through. This is about a 2-hour run. Huge thank you to the cast, huge thank you to the team, and to all of you for watching and supporting Chaos Theater Collective. And without further ado, I present to you Ronde.
Ronde by Arthur Schnitzler. The time, the 1890s. The place, Vienna. Scene 1, the whore and the soldier. Late in the evening on the Argerton Bridge, a soldier is on his way home, whistling from the shadows. He hears the voice.
Want to come with me, Angel Face?
You mean me, Angel Face?
Who do you think? Come on, come with me. I live near here.
No time. Have to get back to the barracks.
You'll get back to the barracks, all right. But it's nicer with me.
Yeah, could be.
A cop might come.
Nonsense. What's a cop? I got my sword on.
Come with me.
Leave me alone. I got no money anyhow.
I don't need any money.
The soldier stops walking under a street lamp and sees the whore, who has been following him, clearly for the first time.
You don't need any money. Who are you, for God's sake?
Civilians have to pay, sure. A guy like you can get it from me for nothing.
So you're the one Huber told me about.
I don't know any Huber.
Yes, you're the one. That's right. The cafe and the shift gas. Then he went home with you.
The cafe and the shift gas. I've taken plenty of guys home from there.
Let's go then. Let's go.
What? You're in a hurry now?
What are we waiting for? I gotta be back in the barracks at 10.
How long you been in the army?
What business is that of yours? Live far from here?
10 minutes walk.
Too far. How about a little kiss?
The whore stops, takes his face in his hands, and kisses him hard.
I like that part the best. When I like a guy.
She goes to kiss him again, but the soldier pushes her away.
I don't. No, I can't go with you. Too far.
Tell you what, Come tomorrow in the afternoon.
Okay. Give me the address.
Only, I bet you won't come.
I told you I would, didn't I?
Tell you what, if it's too far tonight, how about over there?
What's over there?
Lovely and quiet there, too. No one around this late.
Oh, that's no good.
It's always good with me. Come on, stay with me. Who knows if we'll still be around tomorrow?
Okay, then. Let's make it snappy.
Easy. It's so dark there. One slip and you're in the Danube.
Might be the best thing.
Hey, wait a second. We're just going to a bench.
Well, you know your way around.
Oh, I wish I had a guy like you for a boyfriend.
I'd make you jealous too much.
I know how to take care of that.
Think so?
Not so loud. Could be a cop around. He might be lost. Who'd think we were right in the middle of Vienna?
Over here. Come on over here.
What's got into you? If we slip, we're in the river.
The soldier now grabs the whore by the shoulders and pushes her up against the lamppost. Hands and lips are all over.
Now.
Hold on tight now.
Don't worry.
The aftermath. The whore and the soldier are readjusting their clothes. The moon is shining on the Danube.
It'd have been a lot better on the bench.
On the bench, off the bench. Well, you getting up?
Where are you rushing off?
Gotta get back to the barracks. I'm late anyhow.
Tell me, soldier, what's your name?
What's my name got to do with you?
Mine's Leocadia.
That's a new one.
Soldier.
Well, what do you want?
How about a dime for the janitor?
What do you think I am? Bye now, Leocadia.
He realizes that the soldier has stolen her jeweled brooch and runs after him in a fury.
You crook, you son of a bitch!
But he is gone. Scene 2. The soldier and the parlor maid. The Prater. Sunday evening. A path leading from the Worcester Prater, or amusement park, out into dark avenues of trees. The din of the amusement park is audible. So is the sound of the Funkrat Stortans, Bano polka, played by a brass band. The soldier and the parlor maid enter, dancing and drinking.
Yes, but now you must tell me, why were you in such a hurry to leave? I thought it was marvelous. I love dancing. But we're not dancing now. Why are you holding me so tight?
What's your name? Kathy?
You've got a Kathy on your mind.
I know, I've got it. Marie.
Look, it's dark here. I get so scared.
Nothing to be afraid of with me around.
But where are we going to, though? There's no one around at all. Let's go back. Come on. How dark it is.
She pulls at his hand, but the soldier stays put, pulling at his Virginia cigar till the tip glows.
Did it get lighter? My little treasure.
Oh, what are you doing?
Nice and soft. Damned if you're not the nicest and softest one of the whole bunch, Fraulein.
What whole bunch?
And there in the Swoboda.
You tried all of them?
Oh, you notice? Dancing. You notice a lot of things, huh?
You dance with that blonde more than with me. The one with the crooked face?
An old friend of a buddy of mine.
You mean of that corporal with the turned up mustache?
Nah, the civilian. You know, the one at the table with me before, with the the hoarse voice.
Oh, yes, I know. He's pretty fresh.
Did he try something with you? I'll show the bastard. What'd he try?
Oh, nothing. I just saw how he was with the other girls.
Oh, now, Fraulein, tell me.
Oh, you'll burn me with that cigar.
Oh, so sorry, Fraulein. Or can I call you Marie?
We haven't known each other very long.
Well, there's lots of people who can't stand each other and still use first names.
You see, her Franz.
You remembered my name.
You see, her Franz.
Make it just Franz, Fraulein.
Well, then don't be so fresh. Shh. What if somebody comes?
What if they do? You can't see 2 feet in front of you.
But heavens, where are we going?
Look, there's just 2 like us.
Where? I can't see a thing.
There, right up there.
What do you say like us for?
Oh, I only mean they kind of like each other.
Hey, watch out. What was that? I nearly fell.
Yeah, it's these railings. They put rod on the grass. Like, they put rod the grass.
Don't push so hard. I'll fall right over.
Not so loud.
Look, now I'm really going to scream. What are you doing?
There's no one for miles around.
But let's go back with the rest of them.
But we don't need them, Marie. What we need is...
He leans in and kisses her. As she kisses back, he starts to undress her.
Her Franz, please, for heaven's sake. Now listen, if I'd had any idea. Oh, yes.
Jesus Christ almighty. Ugh.
I can't see your face at all.
My face? Hell.
He flips her over. The aftermath. She lays on the grass sleepily. The soldier has been patiently getting dressed.
Oh, look, Fraulein, you can't stay in the grass all night.
Oh, come on, Franz. Help me up.
Okay. Oh, oops.
Oh dear, Franz.
Yes? What's the matter with Franz?
You're a bad man, Franz.
Oh, so that's it.
What do you let me go for?
Can I get this cigar lit for God's sake?
It's so dark.
Well, tomorrow will be light again.
They resume their walk. The soldier is walking faster than the parlor maid.
At least tell me, do you like me?
I thought you might have noticed.
Where are we going?
Why, back.
Oh, please, Franz, not so quick.
What's the matter? I don't like running around in the dark.
Tell me, Franz, do you like me?
I just told you I liked you.
Come on then, give me a little kiss.
Here. Listen. You can hear that music again.
You probably want to go dancing again.
Sure. What else?
Well, Franz, look, I must be getting back. They'll gripe anyhow. The lady of house is such a... She'd like it best if we never went out at all.
Sure. You go home then.
Her Franz, I thought you might take me.
Home? Ugh.
Oh, please, it's so dreary going home alone.
Where do you live?
It's not far. Porzel and Gauze.
Oh. Then we go the same way, but it's too early for me. I want some fun. I got a late pass tonight. Don't have to be back in the barracks till 12. I'm going dancing.
I see how it is. It's that blonde, the one with the crooked face.
Her face ain't so bad.
Heavens, you men are wicked. I bet you do this to every girl.
Well, that'd be too much.
Franz, do me a favor. Not tonight. Stay just with me tonight. Look,
Okay, okay. But I can dance for a while first, I suppose.
tonight I'm not dancing with anyone else.
Here it is.
What?
The Swoboda. How quickly we got back, huh? And they're still playing that thing. Da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. All right, if you want to wait, I'll take you home. If you don't, I'll be saying goodnight.
I think I'll wait.
Why don't you get yourself a glass of beer?
Leaving her alone, he turned to a blonde and puts on a refined accent.
May I have the pleasure?
The parlor maid and the young gentleman. A hot summer afternoon. His parents are off in the country. The cook is having her half day. In the kitchen, the parlor maid is writing the soldier a letter. There is a ring from the young gentleman's room. She gets up and goes into the young gentleman's room. The young gentleman is lying on the sofa with cigarettes and French novels.
You rang her, Alfred?
Oh, yes, Marie. Yes, I did ring, as a matter of fact. Now, what was it? Oh, I know. Let the blinds down, Marie, will you? It's cooler with the blinds down, don't you think?
The parlor maid goes to the window and lets the Venetian blinds down.
What were you doing, Marie? That's right. Oh. Now I can't seem to read.
The way you always study so, her Alfred.
That'll be all, thanks.
The parlor maid goes out. The young gentleman tries to go on reading, soon lets the book fall, rings again. The parlor maid is in the doorway.
Look, Marie, what was I gonna say? Well, yes. Is there any cognac in the house?
Yes, her Alfred, but it's locked up.
Oh, well, who has the key?
Linny has the key.
Who's Linny?
The cook, her Alfred.
Oh. Then go and tell Linny.
Well, Linny's having her half day.
Oh,
Shall I run over to the cafe for you, her Alfred?
oh no. Hot enough as it is. I don't need any cognac anyway. Listen, Marie, just bring me a glass of water. Wait, Marie, let it run. Till it gets quite cold.
The parlor maid goes and the young gentleman stares into space. The parlor maid turns the faucet on and lets the water run. Meanwhile, she goes to her little room, washes her hands, and arranges her curls in the mirror. Then she brings the young gentleman the glass of water. She walks to the sofa, their fingers touch.
Oh, thanks. Well, what is it? Now be careful. Put the glass back on the tray. What's the time?
5 o'clock, her Alfred.
I see, 5. Thank you.
The parlor maid goes. At the door, she turns the young gentleman. The young gentleman is looking. She notices and smiles. He tries to read again. In a couple of minutes, he again rings. The parlor maid enters with a smile which she makes no attempt to hide.
Look, Marie, what I was going to ask you, didn't Dr. Schuler call this morning?
No, no one called this morning.
Well, that's strange. Dr. Schuler. So Dr. Schuler didn't call. You know him? Dr. Schuler?
Oh, yes, the tall gentleman with the big black beard.
Yes, then maybe he did call.
No, no one called her, Alfred.
Come here, Marie.
Yes, her, Alfred?
Closer. Yes. I only thought.
Yes, her, Alfred?
I thought about that blouse. What kind is it? Oh, come on, I won't bite you.
What's this about my blouse? You don't like it, her, Alfred?
He takes hold of the blouse and in doing so, pulls the parlor maid down on him.
Blue, isn't it? Yes, what a lovely blue. You're nicely dressed, Marie.
But her, Alfred?
Well, what? You got lovely white skin, Marie.
I think you're flattering me, her, Alfred.
This can't hurt, can it?
Oh, no.
Oh, you're sighing. Why do you sigh like that?
Oh, her, Alfred.
And what nice slippers you have on.
But her, Alfred, if the doorbell rings,
Who'd ring at this hour?
her, Alfred, you see, it's so light.
Oh no, you need to be entertained. You wouldn't need to be embarrassed me. You wouldn't need to be embarrassed anyone, pretty as you are. I swear you are. You know, your hair has such a pleasant smell.
Her, Alfred.
Don't make such a fuss, Marie. I seen you quite different when I came here late last night and went for a glass of water. The door to your room was open, yes.
Heavens, I had no idea you could be so naughty, her, Alfred.
I saw a great deal. Great deal. This and this and this and this.
Her,
And-
Alfred.
Come on, here. That's right, yes.
But if anyone rings,
We won't go near the door. We won't go to the door.
The aftermath. The doorbell rings.
Oh, Christ almighty, what racket that man makes. Maybe he rang before, but when we just didn't notice anything.
oh, I kept my ears open the whole time.
Well now, go and see through the peephole.
Her, Alfred, you are, no, a naughty man.
Go, please. Go and look.
Whoever it was, he's gone away again. There's no one there. Maybe it was Dr. Schuler.
That'll be all. Thanks. Look, Marie, I'm going to to the cafe.
So soon? Her, Alfred?
I'm going to the cafe. Dr. Schuler to come here.
He won't be here today.
Dr. Schuler should come here. I'm the cafe. I'm in the cafe.
He goes into the next room. The parlor maid takes a cigar from the smoking table, slips it in her pocket and goes out. The young gentleman and the young wife. Evening. A drawing room in a house in the Schwingasse, furnished with cheap elegance. The young gentleman has just come in, still in a hat and overcoat, and lights the candles. The glow of the candles in the drawing room falls on the parquet floor and makes its way to the four-poster against the rear wall. A reddish glow from the fireplace in the corner of the bedroom is thrown on the bed curtains. The young gentleman also inspects the bedroom. He takes an atomizer from the dressing table and sprays the pillows with a fine stream of violet perfume. Then he goes with the spray through both rooms, squeezing the little bulb the whole time so that soon the whole place smells of violets. He takes off hat and overcoat, sits down in a blue velvet armchair, lights a cigarette, and smokes. After a short while, he gets up to make sure that the green shutters are drawn. Suddenly, he goes back to the bedroom, opens the drawer of the bedside table, feels around till he finds a turquoise shell hairpin. He looks around for a place to hide it, and finally puts it in his overcoat pocket. Then he opens a cupboard in the drawing room, takes out a silver tray, a cognac bottle, and 2 liqueur glasses, and puts it all on the table. He goes back to his overcoat and fishes out a small white parcel, which he opens and puts next to the cognac bottle. He returns to the cupboard and takes out 2 dessert plates, knives, and forks. From the small parcel, he extracts a marron glaze and eats it. Then he pours himself a glass of cognac and quickly drinks it down. He looks at his watch. He paces the room. In front of the large mirror on the wall, he stops for a while, smoothing his hair and little mustache with a pocket comb. He goes to the door to the hall and listens, not a sound. The doorbell rings and the young wife enters. The young wife, thickly veiled, shuts the door behind her and stands for a moment with her left hand on her heart, as though she had a master intense emotion. The young gentleman takes her hand and kisses it.
Ah, I thank you.
Alfred. Alfred.
Come in, dear lady. Coming, fraud. Come in, Emma.
Let me alone for a moment, please. Please, Alfred. But where am I actually?
In my flat.
This building is a horror, Alfred.
Why? It's dignified.
I met 2 men on the stairs.
People you know?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Forgive me. You must know who I know.
But I didn't see a thing.
All right. Even if they've been your best friends, they couldn't recognize you. Even I didn't know it was you. This veil.
There are 2.
Why don't you come in a bit closer? And anyway, take off your hat.
What are you thinking of, Alfred? I told you. 5 minutes. No, not a second more. I swear.
Then that veil.
There are 2.
Oh, well, both veils then. Then I'm allowed to see you.
Do you really love me, Alfred?
Emma, can you ask?
It's so hot in here.
You still have your fur cape on. You're going to catch a cold.
I'm dead tired.
Permit me.
He takes her veil off, takes out the hat pin, puts hat, pin, and veils down side by side on the sofa.
What's the matter with you?
Never were you so beautiful.
What's that?
Alone with you, Emma.
And now, let me go. I have done what you asked. You promised me that you would be good.
Yes.
This room is stifling.
You still have your cape on.
Put it with my hat. And now, adieu.
Emma.
The 5 minutes are up.
No. You haven't even been here 1 minute yet.
Alfred, please tell me exactly what time it is.
6:15, quite on the nose.
I should have been at my sister's long ago.
You can see your sister anytime.
Oh God, Alfred, why did you get me to do this?
Because I worship you, Emma.
How many women have you said that to?
Since I last saw you? To none.
Oh, what a frivolous woman I am. If anyone had told me. a week ago, or even yesterday.
It was the day before yesterday. You promised.
Because you kept tormenting me. But I didn't want to. God is my witness. I didn't want to. Yesterday, I made up my mind. Do you even know I wrote you a long letter last night?
I didn't get it.
I tore it up. Ugh, I should have sent it after all.
Better like this.
No. It's scandalous of me. I can't understand myself. Goodbye, Alfred. Let me go.
The young gentleman takes her in his arms and covers her face with hot kisses.
So this is how you keep your promise.
One more kiss. Just one.
The last!
He kisses her. She reciprocates, and their lips stay together a long time.
May I tell you something, Emma? It's only now that I know what happiness is. Or rather, only now I do know what happiness might be.
Alfred. Alfred, what are you making me into?
It's not really so comfortable here, isn't it? And we're so safe. It's 1,000 times better than meeting in the open air.
Oh, don't remind me.
Even in those meetings I shall think of with delight. Every minute I have with the privilege of spending at your side will linger forever as a sweet memory.
You remember the industrial ball?
Do I remember? But didn't I sit next to you during supper right up close? The champagne, your husband? I was only going to mention the champagne. Tell me, Emma, wouldn't you like a glass of cognac?
Maybe just a drop. But first, let me have a glass of water.
Yes. Now, where is... Ah! Oh, yes.
The young gentleman returns, gets the filled decanter and 2 glasses.
Where were you?
In the next room.
Now I'm going to ask you something, Alfred. And you must swear to tell the truth.
I swear.
Was there ever another woman in these rooms?
But Emma, this house has been around for 20 years.
You know what I mean, Alfred. With you.
With me here? Emma, it's not nice for you to think about such things.
And you have... How shall I... But no, I better not ask you. It's better if I don't ask. It's my own fault. Everything takes its revenge.
But what is it? What's the matter with you? What takes revenge?
No. I mustn't return to consciousness. I'd sink into the ground for very shame.
Emma, if only you had any idea how you hurt me. I'll tell you something, Emma. If you're ashamed to be here, that's to say, if I'm nothing to you, if you don't feel, you mean all the bliss in the world to me, then leave.
That is just what I'll do.
But if you realize that I can't live without you, that to kiss your hand means more to me than all the caresses of the world, of all the women in the whole wide world. Emma, I'm not like the other men who you know how this sort of thing is done. Call me naive if you wish.
But what if you were like the other young men?
then you wouldn't be here now. You aren't like the other young women.
How do you know?
I thought about you. I thought a lot about you. I know you're unhappy. Life is so empty, so trivial, and so short. Isn't life frighteningly short, Emma? There is only one happiness: to find someone who loves you.
The young wife has taken the candied pear from the table and puts it into her mouth.
Give me half.
She offers it to him with her lips. The young wife takes the young gentleman's hands, which threaten to go astray.
What are you doing, Alfred? Is this your promise?
Life is so short.
But that's no reason.
But it is.
Now look, Alfred, you promised to be good, and it's so light.
Come. My only one. My only.
What are you doing?
Lifts her off the sofa.
Not light in here.
Is there another room?
A lovely room and quite dark.
I'd rather stay here.
The young gentleman has already got her through the curtains and in the bedroom. He begins to unhook her dress at the waist.
You're so... Oh God, what are you doing to me, Alfred?
Emma, I worship you.
Wait, please, at least wait.
Let me.
Go. I'll call you.
Let me help you. You help me, let me help you.
But you're tearing everything.
Don't you wear a corset?
I never wear a corset. Neither does Jose, incidentally. You can unbutton my boots.
The young gentleman unbuttons her boots, kisses her feet. She slips into the bed.
Oh, I'm cold.
You'll get warm.
You think so?
You shouldn't have said that.
He undresses in the dark.
Come.
At once.
It smells of violets in here.
It's you. Yes. You.
Alfred.
Emma!
The aftermath. They have both faked it and are now lying uncomfortably next to each other.
I must be too much in love with you. That's why I'm nearly out of my senses. All these past days, I've been going crazy. I felt it coming.
Don't you worry your head about it.
Of course not. You could almost take what's granted when a man.
Don't. You're nervous. Just relax.
Do you know Stendhal?
Stendhal?
This book, De l'Amour.
No. Why do you ask?
There's a story in it that's the most significant.
What sort of story?
Bunch of officers have gotten together.
Oh.
And they talk about their love affairs, and everyone says with the woman he loved the most passionately, She made him. With her, fact is, it happened to every one of them. What happened to me with you?
I see.
This is very typical.
Yes.
But that's not all. One of them claims it never happened to him all of his life. But Stendhal adds, this man was a notorious show-off.
Oh.
All the same, kind of throws you off. That's the stupid thing about it, even if it doesn't really matter.
Naturally. Anyway, you promised to be good.
Oh, please don't laugh. That won't improve things.
I'm not laughing. This Stendhal story is very interesting. I'd always thought it happened only with older men or with very, well, you know, men who've been too fast.
What an idea. That has nothing to do with it, by the way. I forgot the most charming story in the Stendhal. A lieutenant of Hussars even says he spent 3 nights, or was it 6? I can't remember, with a woman he's been wanting for weeks, desire and all that. And all those nights, they didn't do a thing but a cry with happiness. Both of them.
Both of them.
Both of them. That surprises you? I find it so understandable, especially when you're in love.
But there must be a lot who don't cry.
Surely, after all, it's an exceptional case.
Oh, I thought Stendhal says all hussars cry on these occasions.
There, you're just making fun.
Not in the least. Ugh, don't be so childish, Alfred.
Can't help it. Makes me nervous. I have the feeling you're thinking of it the whole time. I'm embarrassed.
I am not thinking of it.
You are. If only I could be so sure you love me.
Do you want better proof than...
You'll see. You're always making fun of me.
Not at all. Come, give me your sweet little head.
Oh, this is good.
Do you love me?
Oh, I'm so happy.
But no need to cry, too.
Again! Didn't I just beg you?
I said you shouldn't cry, that was all.
You said no need to cry.
Oh, you're nervous, my dear.
I know that.
You shouldn't be. It's rather nice that we were comrades, as you might say.
Now you're starting over.
Don't you remember? It was one of our very first talks. We wanted to be just comrades. Oh, it was lovely that time. And my sisters in January at the great ball during the quadrille. Oh, for heaven's sake, I should have left long ago. My sister will be waiting. What shall I tell her? Adieu,
Emma.
Alfred.
Emma, you're gonna leave me like this.
Yes, like this.
Just another 5 more minutes.
All right, 5 minutes. But you must promise me to keep quite still. Yes? I'm going to give you a goodbye kiss. Shh, keep still. As I told you, or I'll get right up. My sweet, sweet.
Emma, I worship.
Aftermath. The second time, it was still fake.
Darling Alfred.
Oh, it's heaven with you.
But now I really must go.
Oh, let your sister wait.
I must go home. It's too late for my sister. What time is it now?
How did I find that out?
By looking at your watch.
It's in my waistcoat.
Well, get it.
Hey,
Oh, for heaven's sake, quick. Alfred, my stockings. Oh, whatever shall I say? They'll be waiting for me at home. 8 o'clock?
when will I see you next?
Never.
Emma, don't you still love me?
That's why. Give me my boots.
Never again. Here are your boots.
There's a button hook in my pocketbook. Please hurry.
Here's the button hook.
Alfred, this could cost us both our necks.
Why?
Well, what can I tell him when he asks me where I've been?
At your sister's.
Yes, if only I were a good liar.
You'll just have to be.
All this for a man like you. Come here. Let me give you another kiss. Now leave me alone. Go in the other room. I can't dress with you around.
The young gentleman goes to the drawing room and gets dressed. He eats a little of the pastry, drinks a glass of cognac.
Alfred,
Yes, my treasure.
maybe it's good. We didn't just cry.
How can you treat us so slightly?
What will it be like? If we meet at a party one day, by chance?
One day, by chance. Surely you'll be at the Lophamas tomorrow.
Yes. Will you?
Of course. May I ask for the cotillation? May I ask for the something here?
The cotillion? Oh, I won't go. How can you think? Why,
She enters the drawing room, fully dressed, and takes a chocolate pastry.
I'd sink into the ground.
Well, tomorrow at the Lobheimers. That's lovely.
No, I'll send word I can't come. Definitely.
And the day after to tomorrow. Here.
What an idea.
At 6.
There are cabs at the corner, aren't there?
As many as you like. Then it's day after tomorrow. 6 o'clock here. Say yes, my dearest treasure.
We'll talk over it tomorrow during the cotillion.
Angel.
Don't spoil my hairdo again.
So it's tomorrow at the Loptimers, and then the day after in my arms.
Goodbye.
And what are you gonna tell him tonight?
Don't ask. Don't ask. It's too dreadful. Oh, why do I love you so? Goodbye. If I meet people on the stairs again, I shall have a stroke.
The young gentleman kisses her hand yet again. The young wife goes, leaving him alone.
Well, now, I'm having an affair with a respectable lady. Woman. Yes, woman.
Scene 5. The young wife and the husband. A comfortable bedroom. It is 10:30 at night. The young wife is lying in bed, reading. The husband comes into the room in his bathrobe.
You've stopped working?
Yes. I'm too tired.
Yes.
And besides, I suddenly felt so lonely at my desk. I began longing for you.
Really?
Don't read anymore tonight. You'll ruin your eyes.
What's the matter?
Nothing. I'm in love with you, but you know that.
One might almost forget it sometimes.
One even has to forget it sometimes.
Why?
Marriage would be imperfect otherwise. It would, how shall I put it? It would lose its sanctity.
Oh,
Believe me, it's true. If in the course of the 5 years we've been married, we hadn't sometimes forgotten we're in love with each other, we probably wouldn't be in love anymore.
that's over my head.
The fact is simply this. We've had something like 10 or 12 different love affairs with one another. Isn't that how it seems to you?
I haven't kept count.
If we'd pushed our first affair to the limit, if I blindly surrendered myself to my passion for you from the beginning, we'd have gone the way of millions of others. We'd be through by now.
I see what you mean.
Believe me, Emma, in the first days of our marriage, I was afraid it would turn out that way.
So was I.
You see, wasn't I right? That's why it's best from time to time to live together just as friends.
Oh, I see.
That way we can always keep having new honeymoons. Because I never risk letting the weeks of the honeymoon.
Run into months.
Exactly.
And now it seems another one of those periods of friendship has come to an end.
It could be so.
But suppose it was different with me.
It isn't different with you. You're the cleverest creature alive and the most bewitching. I'm very happy to have found you.
Oh, how nice that you do know how to court a woman from time to time.
The husband has gotten into bed.
For a man who's seen the world a bit, come put your head on my shoulder. Seen the world a bit. Marriage means something far more mysterious than to girls from good families like you. You come to us pure and, at least to a certain degree, ignorant. And so you have in reality a much clearer view of the true nature of love than we have.
Oh,
Certainly, because we're insecure, confused by the many varied experiences we have before marriage, unavoidably. You women hear a lot and know too much. I'm afraid you read too much too. But you can never have an accurate conception of what we men have to go through. What's commonly called love is made utterly repellent to us. Because after all, what are the poor creatures we have to resort to?
yes. What are the poor creatures you have to resort to?
Be glad, my dear, that you never had a glimpse of these circles. Most of them are rather pitiable beings, incidentally. Let us not cast a first stone.
You pity them? That doesn't seem quite right.
They deserve it. You girls from good families who could quietly wait beneath the parental roof till a decent man proposes to you, you don't know the misery that drives those poor creatures into the arms of sin.
They all sell themselves then.
I wouldn't quite say that. And I'm not thinking merely of material misery. There is also, one might say, a moral misery, an insufficient grasp of what is proper, and especially of what is noble.
But why should we pity them? Don't they have rather a nice time of it?
You have peculiar opinions, dear. Don't forget that these creatures are destined by nature to sink forever lower and lower and lower. There is no stopping it.
Sinking sounds rather nice.
How can you say such a thing, Emma? I should have thought there could be nothing more repellent to a decent woman than the thought of.
Yes, yes, that's true, Carl. Of course. I said it without thinking. Tell me more. It's so nice when you talk like this. Tell me more
About what?
about those creatures.
But what an idea.
Look, I asked you before, didn't I? Right at the beginning, I kept asking you to tell me about your youth.
Why does that interest you?
Aren't you my husband? And isn't it positively unfair that I know absolutely nothing about your past?
I hope you don't think I'm in such bad taste. No, Emma, it would be a profanation.
And yet you've held any number of other young ladies in your arms the way you're holding me now.
Young lady, you're a lady.
There's one question you must answer. Or else, no honeymoon.
A way of talking. Remember, darling, you're a mother. Our little girl is sleeping in there.
But I want a boy too.
Emma!
Oh, don't be so. Of course, I'm your wife. But I'd like to be your mistress, sort of.
You would?
First, my question.
What is it?
Was there a married woman among them?
What? How do you mean?
You know.
What makes you ask?
I'd like to know if there are women like that, I know, but have you?
Do you know any such woman?
Well, I can't tell.
Is there such a woman among your friends?
Well, how could I say yes or no and be sure?
As one of your women friends, people talk a lot when women among themselves. Has one of them confessed?
No.
Do you suspect that one of your friends?
Suspect. Well, suspect.
It seems you do.
Definitely not. Carl, most certainly not. Now I think it over, I wouldn't believe not one of them.
Not one.
Of friends? Not one.
Promise me something, Emma.
Well,
Promise you'll never go around with a woman if you have the slightest suspicion that her life is not beyond reproach.
you need a promise for that?
I know, of course, that you would never seek contact with such women, but by chance you might. It frequently happens that women who don't enjoy the best reputation seek the company of respectable women, partly for contrast and partly out of a certain, how shall I put it? Out of a certain nostalgia for virtue.
I see.
Yes, I believe it's very true what I just said. Nostalgia for virtue. But there's one thing you can be sure of. In reality, all these women are very unhappy.
Why?
How can you ask, Emma? Only imagine what sort of existence they have to lead, full of meanness, lies, treachery, and full of danger.
Oh, yes, I'm sure you're right.
Indeed. They pay for that bit of happiness. That bit of
Pleasure.
pleasure. What makes you call it pleasure?
Well, it's something, or they wouldn't do it.
It's nothing, mere intoxication.
Mere intoxication.
Not even intoxication. But one thing is certain, it's bought at a price.
Then you do know what you're talking about.
Yes, Emma, it's my saddest memory.
Who was it? Tell me. Do I know her?
Emma, what are you thinking of?
Was it long ago? Very long before you married me?
Don't ask. Please, don't ask.
But Carl!
She's dead.
Honestly?
Yes. It may sound ridiculous, but I have the feeling that all these women die young.
Did you love her very much?
Can a man love a liar?
Then why?
Intoxication.
Then you did.
Please don't talk about it. All that is long past. I've only loved one woman. You. A man can only find love where he finds purity and truth. How safe. How good a man feels in these arms. Why did I know you as a child? I'm sure I'd never have looked at another woman.
Carl.
You're beautiful. Beautiful. Oh.
The aftermath. Once again, the young wife hasn't finished, but the husband is satisfied.
You know what I can't help thinking of tonight?
What, my treasure?
Of of um of Venice.
The first night?
Yes. Like that.
What is it? Tell me.
Tonight. That's how you love me tonight.
Yes. That's how I love you.
If you could always.
Yes.
Oh, Carl, dear.
What was it you wanted to say? If I could always.
Yes.
Well, what would happen if I could always?
Then I'd always know you love me.
Yes, but you know it anyhow. A man can't always be the loving husband. A man must go out into this hostile life, take with him high goals, and learn the meaning of strife. Always remember this, my dear. In marriage, there's a time for everything. That's the beauty of it. There aren't many who still remember their Venice after 5 years.
No, of course not.
No. Good night, my dear.
Good night.
The husband and the little miss. A private room in the Riedhoff restaurant. Comfortable, unobtrusive elegance. On the table, the remains of a meal. Merengues with much whipped cream, fruit, cheese, white Hungarian wine is in the glasses. The husband smokes a Havana cigar, leans back on the corner of the sofa. The little miss sits on a chair beside him, scoops the whipped cream out of a merengue, and sucks it up with satisfaction.
It's good.
Mm,
Like another?
no, I've eaten too much already.
No wine left.
He fills up her glass.
No, I'll only leave it, sir.
You're still calling me sir.
Well, it's hard to get out of the habit, sir.
Sir?
What?
You said sir again. Come, sit by me.
One moment. I'm not through.
The husband gets up, stands behind her chair, and puts his arms around her, turning her head toward him.
What is it now?
I'd like to have a kiss.
You're pretty fresh. You are.
You only just noticed it?
Oh, I noticed it before. In the street. You must have had quite an opinion of me.
How's that?
Going straight to a private room with you?
You didn't go straight to the private room.
But you've had such a nice way of asking.
You think so?
And after all, what's wrong about it?
Precisely.
Whether you go for a walk or...
It's much too cold for a walk, isn't it?
Of course, it was much too cold.
But in here, it's nice and warm, don't you think?
He has sat down again and puts his arm around the little miss, pulling her lover to his side.
Hey,
Now tell me, you'd noticed me before, hadn't you?
sure. In the Singer Strauss.
I don't mean today. The day before yesterday, and the day before that. I was following you.
There's plenty follow me.
I can imagine. But did you notice me?
Well, you know what happened to me the other day? My cousin's husband followed me in the dark and didn't recognize me.
Did he speak to you?
The idea! You think everybody's as fresh as you?
It happens.
Sure, it happens.
Well, what do you do then?
Me? Nothing. I just don't answer.
You answered me.
Well, are you mad at me?
Your lips taste of whipped cream.
Oh, they're sweet by nature.
Many men have told you that, haven't they?
Many men. The ideas you get.
Be honest with me. How many have kissed these lips?
Why ask? If I tell you won't believe me.
Why not?
Yes.
Let's say, but you mustn't be angry.
Oh, why would I be?
Well, I'd guess 20.
Why not 100 while you're at it?
It was only a guess.
It was a bad guess.
Let's say 10.
Oh, sure. A girl who lets you talk to her in the street and goes straight to a private dining room?
Don't be a child. Whether people run around in the street or sit together in a room, here, we're in a restaurant. The waiter can come in anytime. There's nothing to it.
That's just what I thought.
Have you ever been in a private dining room before?
Well, if I must tell you the truth, yes.
Well, I like that.
It
You're
wasn't like
honest.
you think. I was with my girlfriend and her fiance during the last carnival.
Well, it wouldn't be a tragedy if you've been with your boyfriend.
Sure, it wouldn't be a tragedy, but I haven't got a boyfriend.
Go on.
Cross my heart, I haven't.
You don't mean to tell me.
What? There hasn't been anyone for more than 6 months.
I see. And before that,
What are you so inquisitive for?
was it because I'm in love with you?
Really?
Of course. Hadn't you noticed? Come on, tell me.
Tell you what,
Oh, don't keep me begging. I'd like to know who he was.
oh, a man, of course.
Come on, come on, come on. Who was he?
He was a little bit like you.
Indeed.
If you hadn't been so much like him.
Well, what then?
Now, don't ask, you know what.
So that's why you let me speak to you.
Well, yes.
Now I don't know whether to be glad or annoyed.
If I was you, I'd be glad.
Oh, well, okay.
The way you talk reminds me of him too. And the way you look at a girl.
What was he?
Really, your eyes.
What was his name?
Don't look at me like that. No, please.
The husband takes her in his arms, a long, hot kiss. The little miss shakes herself free and tries to get up.
Hey, what's the matter?
Time to go home.
Later.
No, I must go home. Really. What do you think mother will say?
You're living with your mother?
Oh, sure I am. What did you think?
I see. With your mother. Just the two of you?
Just the two? No. There's 5 of us. 2 boys, 3 girls.
Hey, don't sit so far away. Are you the eldest?
No, I'm the second. First, there's Kathy. She goes out to work in a flower shop. Then there's me.
What do you do?
I'm at home.
All the time?
Well, one of us has to be at home.
Naturally. Well, and what do you tell your mother when you come home late?
Doesn't happen often.
Tonight, for example. Your mother does ask you?
Oh, sure she does. Doesn't matter how careful I am when I get home. She wakes up every time.
What will you tell her tonight?
Oh, well, I guess I've been to the theater.
Will she believe you?
I mean, why wouldn't she? I often go to the theater. Only last Sunday, I went to the opera with my girlfriend and her fiance and my older brother.
Where do you get the tickets from?
My brother's a barber.
Of course, barbers. I suppose he's a theatrical barber.
Why are you pumping me like this?
I'm interested. And what's your older brother?
He's still at school. He wants to be a teacher. Imagine.
And you have a younger sister too?
Yeah, she's only a squirt. But at that, you've got to keep an eye on her. You've no idea what these girls learn at school. Do you know the other day I caught her having a date?
What?
I did, with the boy from the school opposite. She was out walking with him in the Strassi Gas at 7:30. The brat.
What did you do?
Well, she got a spanking.
You are as strict as all that?
There's no one else to do it. My older sister's in the shop. Mother does nothing but grumbling, so everything falls on me.
God, you're sweet. You remind me of someone too.
Do I? Who is she?
No one in particular. You remind me of the time, my youth. Come, drink up, child.
How old are you? I don't even know your name.
Carl.
Honest? Your name's Carl?
His was Carl too?
Really? It's a miracle. It's two. No, those eyes. That look.
You still haven't told me who he was.
A bad man. That's what he was. Or he wouldn't have dropped me.
Did you like him a lot?
Sure, I liked him a lot.
I know what he was. A lieutenant.
No, he wasn't in the army. They wouldn't take him. His father's got a house in the... But what do you want to know for?
Your eyes are gray. Really? At first I thought they were black.
Well, aren't they nice enough for you? Oh, no, that's something I can't stand. Please, please. Oh God, no. Let me get up. Just for a minute, please.
Oh, no. No.
But Carl, please.
How old are you? 18, is it?
19 now.
19. And I.
You're 30.
And a little more. Don't let's talk of it.
At that, he was 32 when I met him.
How long ago?
Can't remember. You know what? There's something in the wine.
How so?
I'm quite, everything's turning around.
Hold on to me. Like this.
He pulls her to him and becomes more and more tender.
I'll tell you something, treasure. Now we might really go.
Yes, home.
Not home exactly.
What do you mean? Oh, no. I wouldn't. What an idea.
Now listen to me, my child. Next time we meet, we'll arrange it so. Oh, that's good.
What are you doing?
Oh,
See, there
that's
must have been
good.
something in the wine. So sleepy. Hey, what happens if I can't get up? But look, Carl, if somebody comes in, please. The waiter.
No, wait. Oh, come in here. Not in your lifetime.
Afterwards, the little miss leans back in the corner of the sofa, her eyes shut. The husband walks up and down the small room after lighting a cigar. A longish silence. The husband looks at the girl for a long time, then says to himself,
Who knows what sort of person she really is? God in heaven. So quickly. Wasn't very careful of me.
There must have been something in that wine.
How's that?
Otherwise,
Why blame everything on the wine?
where were you? Why are you so far away? Come here to me.
The husband goes to her, sits down.
Now, tell me if you really like me.
But you know, of course I do.
See? There is. Come on, tell me the truth. What was in that wine?
You think I go around poisoning people?
Look, I just don't understand. I'm not like that. We've only known each other for. Listen, I'm not like that. Cross my heart if you believe that of me.
There. Don't fret so. I don't think anything bad of you. I just think you like me.
Yes?
After all, if two young people are alone together and have supper and drink wine, there doesn't have to be anything in the wine.
Oh, I was just gabbing.
But why?
Because I was ashamed.
That's ridiculous. There's no reason for it, especially since I remind you of your first lover.
Yes?
Your first.
Oh, sure.
Now, it would interest me to know who the others were.
There weren't any.
That isn't true. It can't be true.
Please don't nag me.
Cigarette?
No, thank you.
You know what time it is?
What?
11:30.
Really?
Well, what about your mother? Used to it, isn't she?
You want to send me home already?
But you wanted yourself.
Look, you're different now. What have I done to you?
My dear child, what's wrong? What are you thinking of?
It was the look in your eyes. Honest, cross my heart. Otherwise, you could have waited long. A lot of men would ask me to go to a private room with them.
Well, would you like to come here again soon? Or some other place?
I don't know.
Now, what's that? What does that mean? You don't know.
Why do you have to ask?
All right. When? But first, I must explain that I don't live in Vienna. I just come here now and then for a couple of days.
Go on. You aren't Viennese?
Well, yes, I'm Viennese, but I live out of town.
Where?
Goodness, that doesn't matter, does it?
Don't worry. I won't go there.
Heavens, you can go there as much as you want. I live in Graz.
Really?
Yes? What's so astonishing about that?
You're married, aren't you?
Whatever makes you think so.
Looks that way to me.
And if I were, it wouldn't bother you any?
Oh, I'd like it better if you were single. But you're married. I know.
Now tell me, what makes you think so?
Oh, if a man says he doesn't live in town and he hasn't always got time.
That isn't so unlikely, is it?
I don't believe it.
And it wouldn't give you a guilty conscience to seduce a married man, make him unfaithful.
Never mind about that. Bet your wife isn't so different.
That's enough. such observations?
I thought you didn't have a wife.
Whether I have a wife or not, such observations are beyond the pale.
Oh, but Carl, what is it? Carl, are you mad at me? Look, I didn't know you were married. I was just gabbing. Come on, let's be friends.
You really are strange creatures, you women.
No, don't. It's so late.
Now listen to me. We must have a serious talk. I want to see you again. Many times.
Honest.
But if so, it's essential. I must be able to rely on you. I can't be watching you all the time.
Oh, I can look after myself.
You're, well, not inexperienced exactly, but you're young. And men in general are an unscrupulous bunch.
And how?
I don't mean just in morals. Well, you know what I mean.
Now, really, what sort of girl do you take me for?
So, if you want to love me, only me, we'll be able to fix things up somehow. Even if I do live in Graz. This place isn't the right thing. Someone could come in at any moment. Next time, let's make it somewhere else, okay?
Okay,
Where we can't be disturbed.
right.
The rest we can talk over on the way home.
He gets up, opens the door.
Waiter, the check.
7. The Little Miss and the Poet. Small room, comfortably furnished, in good taste. Drapes leave it in semi-darkness. Red net curtains. A big desk littered with papers and books. Against the wall, an upright piano. The Little Miss and the Poet enter together. The poet locks the door.
Here we are, sweetheart.
He kisses
Oh.
her.
Oh, what a nice room. Only you can't see anything.
Your eyes will have to get used to semi-darkness. These sweet eyes.
These sweet eyes won't have time to get used to it.
How's that?
Because I can't stay for more than 1 minute.
Do take your hat off.
For 1 minute.
And your cloak.
What do you want to? I got to go.
First, you must rest. We've been walking 3 hours.
We were in the carriage.
Coming home, yes. But in Wielding en Bach, we were 3 solid hours on foot. Now do sit down. Wherever you like. At the desk? No, that isn't comfortable. Sit down on the sofa. Here. If you're very tired, you can stretch out like this with your little head on the cushion.
But I'm not a bit tired.
You think you aren't. Right now, and now if you feel sleepy, you can go to sleep. I'll keep perfectly quiet. Or I can play you a lullaby, one of my own.
Your own?
Yes.
But Robert, I thought you were a doctor.
How's that? I told you I was a writer.
Well, writers are doctors, aren't they?
Of philosophy? Not all writers. Not me, for instance. Why did you bring that up?
Because you said the piece you were going to play was your own.
Oh, well, maybe it isn't. It doesn't matter, does it? It never matters who's done a thing, just so long as it's beautiful. You agree?
No, sure. As long as it's beautiful.
Do you know what I meant by that?
By what?
What I said just now?
Oh, sure.
You didn't understand a word.
Now look, I'm not stupid.
Of course you are. That's why I love you. It's a fine thing for women to be stupid. In your way, that is.
Hey, don't be rude.
Little angel, isn't it nice just to lie there on a soft Persian rug?
Oh, yes. Won't you go on playing the piano?
Rather stay with you.
Look, can't we have the light on?
Oh, no, twilight is so comforting. Today we were bathing in the sunshine all day long. Now we've come out of the bath, so to speak, and we're wrapping the twilight around us like a bathrobe. No, it'll have to be put a little differently, won't it?
I don't know.
It's fine, this stupidity.
Takes out a notebook and writes a few words in it.
What are you doing? What are you writing down?
Sun, bath, twilight, robe. That's it.
He puts the notebook in his pocket.
Nothing. And now, tell me, treasure, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you like something to eat or drink?
I guess I'm not thirsty, but I am hungry.
No, I'd rather you were thirsty. The cognac's right here. But if it's food, I'll have to go out and get it.
Can't they bring it up to you?
That's the difficulty. My maid isn't around anymore. Never mind. I'll go. What would you like?
It isn't worth it. I've got to go home anyway.
Oh, no, you don't. I'll tell you what. When we leave, we'll go and have supper somewhere.
I haven't got time. And where would we go? We'd be seen.
You know so many people.
It's enough if one of them sees us, the damage would be done.
What damage?
What do you think if Mother heard anything?
We could go to a place where nobody could see us. There are restaurants with private rooms after all. Have you been to a private dining room?
As a matter of fact, I have.
Who was the lucky man?
Oh, it wasn't what you think. I was with my girlfriend and her fiance. They took me.
Really? Am I supposed to believe that?
Suit yourself.
Did you blush? It's gotten dark in here. I can't make out your features. Even so, I recognize you.
Well, take care you don't mix me up with another girl.
Peculiar. I can't remember what you look like.
Thank you very much.
You know, it's rather spooky. I can't visualize your face in a certain sense. I've already forgotten you. Now, if I could recognize your voice either, what would you be? So near and yet so far, rather spooky. What?
What are you talking about?
Nothing, Angel, nothing. Where are your lips?
Won't you put the light on?
No. Tell me if you love me.
Oh, I do. I do.
Have you ever loved anyone else as much?
Told you I haven't.
But
Well, he was my fiance.
I'd rather you didn't think of them.
Oh, what are you doing? Now look.
Let's imagine we're in a castle in India.
I'm sure people there wouldn't or couldn't be as badly as behaved as you.
How idiotic, divine. If only you had an inkling of what you meant to me.
Well, what?
Don't push me away all the time. I'm not doing anything yet.
Listen, my corset hurts.
Take it off.
Okay. But you mustn't be naughty.
Okay.
Little Miss rises and takes off her corset in the dark.
Tell me, doesn't it interest you at all to know my last name?
Oh, yes. What is it?
I'd better not tell you my name. I'll tell you what I call myself.
What's the difference?
Well, what I call myself as a writer.
You don't write under your real name? Oh, please don't.
Sweet odor that rises from you.
He kisses her
tearing-
bosom.
You're tearing my chemise.
Off with it all, away with these superfluities.
Robert!
Let's enter our Indian castle.
First, tell me if you really love me.
I worship you.
He kisses her hotly.
Treasure, I worship you. My springtime, my...
Robert. Robert.
The aftermath. They are both lying on the couch. It's a bit awkward.
That was bliss supernatural. I call myself...
Robert. Oh, Robert.
I call myself Beebits.
Why do you call yourself Beebits?
It isn't my... Beebits isn't my name. It's what I call myself. Do you know the name?
No.
You don't know the name Beebits. How divine. Really? But you're just pretending.
Cross my heart. I've never heard of it.
You never go to the theater?
Oh, yes. Just the other day, I got taken by my girlfriend's uncle and my girlfriend, and we went to the opera Galleria Rutigana.
Oh, but you never go to the Berg Theater.
Nobody ever gives me tickets for that.
I'll send you a ticket one day soon.
Oh, please. But don't forget, make it something funny.
Yes. Funny. Well, wouldn't you like something sad?
Not really.
Even if it's by me?
A play? By you? You write for the theater?
Excuse me. I just want to light a candle. I haven't seen you since you became mine.
Lights
Angel.
the candle.
Hey, don't. I feel ashamed. Give me a blanket anyway.
Later.
He walks up to her with the light and contemplates her for a long while.
Robert.
Beautiful. You are beauty. You are nature herself, perhaps. You are sacred simplicity.
Oh, you're dripping wax on me. Why can't you be more careful?
You're what I've been looking for all this time. You love me, just me. You'd love me the same if I were a shop assistant. It does me good. I'll confess that up till now, I couldn't get rid of a certain suspicion. Tell me, you hadn't the least idea I was Beebits?
Look, I don't know what you want from me. I don't know any Beebits.
Such is fame. Never mind, forget what I told you. Forget even the name I told you. I'm Robert for you, and I want to remain Robert. I was joking. I'm not a writer at all. I'm a shop assistant. In the evenings, I play piano for folk singers.
Now you have me all mixed up. And the way you look at a girl. What's the matter? What's eating you?
It's strange. It's hardly ever happened to me. My treasure, I feel like crying. You've got under my skin. Let's stay together. Hmm? We're going to love one another very much.
Listen, is it true about the folk singing?
Yes, but don't ask anymore. If you love me, don't ask. Tell me, could you make yourself quite free for a couple of weeks?
What do you mean, quite free?
Well, away from home.
What? How could I? What would mother say? And everything would go wrong at home without me.
I've been thinking how lovely it would be to live with you for a few weeks quite alone, somewhere in distant solitude, in the depths of nature's forests, nature in nature, and then one day, farewell to go who knows whither.
I'm talking about saying goodbye. Thought you liked me a lot.
Just it, sweet creature.
Hold me tight. I'm cold.
It's time to get dressed. Wait, I'll light some more candles.
Don't look.
No. Tell me, darling, are you happy?
How do you mean?
In general. I mean, are you happy?
Things could be better.
You don't understand me. You've told me quite enough about the affairs at home. I know you aren't exactly a princess. I mean, setting all that aside, when you're just feeling alive, do you know by the way you feel you are really alive?
Got a comb?
The poet goes to the dressing table and gives her the comb, contemplating the little miss.
Enchanting to look at.
No, don't.
Come, stay here with me a little longer. Stay and let me get something for our supper. And
But it's much too late.
it's not 9 yet.
Well, then I've got to hurry.
When shall we meet next?
When would you like to see me?
Tomorrow?
What's tomorrow?
Saturday?
Oh, I can't make it. I've got to go see our guardian with my little sister.
Sunday then. Sunday. On Sunday. I must explain something to you. I'm not Beebits. Beebits is a friend of mine. One day I'll introduce you to him. His play is on this Sunday. I'll send you a ticket, and then I'll come pick you up from the theater. You'll tell me how you liked the play, won't you?
This Beebits thing. Well, I may be stupid, but
When I know how you felt about the play, I'll really know you.
okay, I'm ready.
Let's go then, my treasure.
They leave. 8. The poet and the actress. A room in a country inn. It is an evening in spring. Meadows and hills are lit by the moon. The windows are open. All is still. The poet and the actress enter. As they come in, the flame of the candle which the poet is carrying goes out.
Oh,
What's the matter?
candle. But we don't need it. Look, it's quite nice. That light, marvelous.
The actress suddenly sinks on her knees at the window, folding her hands.
What's the matter with you? What are you doing?
Can't you see that I'm praying?
You believe in God?
What do you think? I'm an anarchist?
Oh,
Come here, kneel down beside me. You could do with some praying once in a while, you profligate. And do you know to whom I'm praying?
to God, I presume.
Oh, yes. It was to you who I prayed.
And why look out of the window?
Tell me where you've dragged me off to, seducer.
It was your own idea. You wanted to go to the country. You wanted to come here.
Well, wasn't I right?
Yes, it's enchanting to think it's only 2 hours from Vienna and perfect solitude. What a landscape.
Isn't it? You could write poetry here if you happen to have any talent.
Have you been here before?
Have I been here before? I've lived here for years.
With whom?
Oh, with Fritz, of course.
I see.
I worship that man.
You've said that already.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I can leave if I bore you.
You bore me? You have no idea what you mean to me. You're a world in yourself. You're the divine spark. You're genius. You are. The truth is, your sacred simplicity. Yes, you. But you shouldn't talk about Fritz. Now,
He was an aberration, yes. Oh, well.
it's good you see that.
Come over and kiss me.
The poet kisses her.
And now we're going to say goodnight. Goodbye, my treasure.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm going to bed.
Yes, that's all right, but this goodnight business, where am I going to sleep?
I'm sure there are other rooms in this inn.
For me, the other rooms have singularly little attraction. By the way, I'd better light up, haven't I?
Yes.
The poet lights the candle.
What a pretty room. They're religious here, nothing but saints' pictures. Wouldn't it be interesting to spend some time among these people? Another world. How little we know of our fellow men.
Talking bosh. Give me my pocketbook, will you? It's on the table.
Here, my one and only love.
The actress takes from the pocketbook a small framed picture and puts it on the bedside table.
What's that?
Our Lady,
I beg your pardon?
the Blessed Virgin.
I see. You never travel without it.
Never. It's my mascot. Now go, Robert.
What sort of a joke is this? Don't you want me to help you?
I want you to go.
Will you ever take me back?
Perhaps.
When?
Oh, in about 10 minutes.
Darling, see you in 10 minutes.
Where will you be?
I shall walk up and down in front of the window. I love to walk at night in the open air. I get all my best ideas that way, especially when you're nearby, wafted by your longings, as it were, floating on your art.
You talk like an idiot.
Some women might have said, like a poet.
Now go. And don't start anything with the waitress.
The poet departs. The actress undresses. She listens to the poet going down the wooden stairs and then to his steps beneath the open window. As soon as she is undressed, she goes to the window, looks down, sees him standing there. She calls to him in a whisper. The poet comes up in a hurry, rushes to her. In the meantime, she has gone to bed and put out the light. He locks the door.
Well, now you may sit down by me and tell me a story.
Shouldn't I close the window? Aren't you cold?
Oh, no.
What would you like me to tell you?
Tell me, who are you being unfaithful to at this moment?
Unfortunately, I'm not being unfaithful yet.
Don't worry, I'm being unfaithful too.
I can imagine.
And who do you think it is?
My dear, I wouldn't have a notion.
Guess then.
Wait a moment. Well, your producer.
My dear, I'm not a chorus girl.
It was just an idea.
Guess again.
Your leading man, Benno.
Ooh, that man doesn't like women. Did you know? He's having an affair with the mailman.
Would have thought it.
So come and kiss me.
The poet embraces her.
What are you doing?
Torture me like this.
Listen, Robert, I'll make a suggestion. Just get in bed with me.
I accept.
Hurry up, hurry up.
Well, if I'd had my way, I'd have been. Listen,
What?
the crickets are chirping outside.
You must be mad, my dear. There are no crickets in these parts.
But you can hear them.
Oh, come on.
Here I am.
And now, lie still.
Don't move.
What's the idea?
Suppose you'd like to have an affair with me.
I thought you might realize that sooner or later.
A lot of men would.
But at this particular moment, the odds are rather strongly in my favor.
Oh, my Cricket. From now on, I'm going to call you Cricket.
Fine.
Now, who am I deceiving?
Me, maybe.
My Cricket. You should have your head examined.
Or maybe someone you've never seen. Someone you don't know. He's meant for you, but you can never find him.
Cricket, don't talk such fantastic rot.
Isn't it strange? Even you. And one would have thought, but no, it would just be spoiling all that's best about you if one, come.
Better than acting in damn silly plays. You agree?
I think it's good that you occasionally act in reasonable ones.
Meaning yours, you conceited pup.
Of course.
It really is a wonderful play.
You see.
You're a genius.
By the way, why did you cancel your performance 2 nights ago? There was nothing wrong with you.
I wanted to annoy you.
Why? What had I done to you?
You were conceited.
In what way?
Everybody in the theater says so.
Really?
But I told them, that man has a right to be conceited.
And what did they say to that?
What should those people say? I never speak to them.
I see.
They like to poison me. But they won't succeed.
Don't think of them. Just be happy we're here. And tell me you love me.
You need further proof?
Oh, that kind of thing can't be proved.
Well, that's great. What more do you want?
How many others did you try to prove it to this way? Did you love them all?
Oh, no. Loved? Only one.
My,
Fritz.
my name is Robert. What am I to you? If it's Fritz you're thinking of.
It's a whim.
Nice to know.
Tell me, aren't you proud?
Why should I be proud?
I think you have some reason.
Oh, because of that.
Yes, because of that, my pale cricket. How about the chirping? Are they still chirping?
All the time, can't you hear?
I can hear, but that's frogs, my child.
You're wrong. Frogs croak.
Certainly, they croak.
Not here, my dear child. This is chirping.
You're the most pig-headed creature I've ever come across. Just kiss me, frog.
Please don't call me that. It makes me nervous.
What do you want me to call you?
I've got a name, Robert.
Oh, that's too dull.
I must ask you to call me simply by my name.
All right, Robert, kiss me.
She kisses him. The aftermath. The bed is a mess and the actress is bored.
Are you content now, frog?
May I light myself a cigarette?
Give me one.
The poet takes the cigarette case from the bedside table, takes out 2, lights both and hands one to her.
By the way, you never said a word about how I did last night.
Doing what?
Well,
Oh, I see. I wasn't at the theater.
I guess you like to joke.
Not at all. When you canceled your performance the day before yesterday, I assumed that yesterday you couldn't be in full possession of your powers, so I preferred to abstain.
You missed something.
Indeed.
That was sensational. People turned pale.
You could see them.
Benno said to me, "You were a goddess, darling."
I'm so sick 1 day earlier.
Yes. And do you know why? Out of longing for you?
You just told me you canceled the performance to annoy me.
What do you know of my love for you? That sort of thing leaves you cold. I was in a fever for nights on end with temperature of 105.
A high temperature just for a whim.
A whim, you call it. I die for love of you, and you call it a whim.
What about Fritz?
What about him? What about him? Don't talk to me about that. That cheap crook.
9. The actress and the count. The actress's bedroom, luxuriously furnished. It is noon. The blinds are still down. On the bedside table, a burning candle. The actress is lying in her four-poster. Numerous newspapers are strewn about on the covers. The count enters in the uniform of a captain of dragoons. He stops at the door, reluctant to come in.
It's you, Count.
Your good mother gave me permission, or of course I wouldn't.
Please, come right in.
I kiss your hand. 1,000 pardons coming straight in from the street. You know, I can't see a thing. Yes, here we are. I kiss your hand.
Sit down, my Count.
Your mother said you weren't very well, Fraulein. Nothing too serious, I hope.
Nothing serious? I was dying.
Oh, dear me. Not really.
Well, in any case, it's very kind of you to trouble to call.
Dying. And only last night you played like a goddess.
It's a great triumph, I believe.
Colossal. People were absolutely knocked out. As for myself, well.
Thanks for the lovely flowers.
Not at all, Fraulein. Last night you were positively strewn with flowers and garlands.
I left them all in my dressing room. Your basket was the only thing I brought home.
You're very kind.
The actor suddenly takes his hand and kisses it.
Fraulein.
Don't be afraid, Count. It commits you to nothing.
You're a strange creature. A puzzle, one might almost say.
Fraulein Birkin is easier to solve?
Oh, little Birkin is no puzzle. Though I only know her superficially.
Indeed.
Oh, believe me. But you are a problem. And I've always longed for one. As a matter of fact, last night I realized what a great pleasure I'd been missing. You see, it was the first time I'd seen you act.
Is that true?
Oh, yes, you see, Fraulein, it's a big problem with the theater. I'm used to dining late. By the time I get there, the best part of the play is over, isn't it?
You'll have to dine earlier from now on.
I thought of that. Or not dining at all. There's not much pleasure in it, is there? Dining?
You still find pleasure in young fogey?
I sometimes ask myself, but I'm no fogey. There must be another reason.
You think so?
Yes. For instance, Lulu always says I'm a philosopher. What he means is I think too much.
Lulu?
Friend of mine.
He's right. It is a misfortune, all that thinking.
I've time on my hands. That's why I think. You see, Fraulein, when they transferred me to Vienna, I thought it would be better. It'd be amusing, stimulating, the city. But it's really much the same here as up there.
And where is up there?
Well, down there, Fraulein, in Hungary. The small towns I used to be stationed in.
What were you doing in Hungary?
I'm telling you, dear lady, the army.
Oh, why did you stay so long in Hungary?
It happened, that's all.
Enough to drive anyone mad, I should think.
Oh, I don't know. In a way, you have more to do there than here. You know, Fraulein, training recruits, exercising horses, and the surroundings aren't as bad as people say. It's really rather lovely, the plain there. Such a sunset. It's a pity I'm not a painter. I often thought I'd paint one if I were a painter. We had a man in our regiment, young Splaney, and he could do it. Why am I telling you the boring stuff I don't know, Fraulein?
Yeah, I'm highly amused.
You know, Fraulein, it's so easy to talk to you. Lulu told me it would be. It's a thing one doesn't often meet.
In Hungary.
Or in Vienna. People are the same everywhere. Where there are more, it gets overcrowded, but that's the only difference. Tell me, Fraulein, do you like people, really?
Like them? I hate them. I don't want to see them. I never do see them. I'm always alone. The house is deserted.
Just as I imagined. You're a misanthropist. It's bound to happen with artists, moving in that more exalted sphere. Well, it's all right for you. At least you know why you're alive.
Who told you that? I haven't the remotest idea why I'm alive.
Not really, Fraulein. Famous, celebrated.
Is that happiness?
Happiness? Happiness doesn't exist. None of the things people chatter about really exist. Love, for instance. It's the same with love.
You may be right there.
Enjoyment, intoxication. There's nothing wrong with them. They're real. I enjoy something all right, and I know I enjoy it. Or I'm intoxicated all right. That's real too. And when it's over, it's over. That's all.
It's over.
But as soon as you don't, I don't know quite how to say it. As soon as you stop living for the present moment, as soon as you think of later on or earlier on, well, the whole thing collapses. Later on is sad and earlier on is uncertain. In short, you just get mixed up. Don't you think so?
You pluck out the heart of the mystery, my dear Count.
And you see, Fraulein, once you're clear about that, it doesn't matter if you live in Vienna or on the Hungarian plains or in the tiny town of Steinemanger. For example, where can I put my cap? What were we talking about?
The tiny town of Steinmanger?
Oh, yes. Well, as I was saying, there isn't much difference. Whether I spend the evening at the casino or the club is all one.
How's this tie in with love?
If a man believes in it, there'll always be a girl around who loves him.
Fraulein Birkin, for example?
Honestly, dear lady, I can't understand why you're always mentioning little Birkin.
She's your mistress, after all.
Who says that?
Everyone knows.
Except me. Remarkable.
But you fought a duel on her behalf.
Possibly I was shot dead and didn't notice.
Count, you're a man of honor. Sit a little closer.
If I may.
Here.
She draws him closer and runs her fingers through his hair.
I knew you would come today.
Really? Why?
I knew it last night. In the theater.
Oh, could you see me from the stage?
My dear man, didn't you realize I was playing for you alone?
How could that be?
After I saw you in the front row, I was walking on air.
Because of me? I had no idea you'd noticed me.
Oh, you can drive a woman to despair with that dignity of yours.
Fräulein,
Fräulein? At least take your saber off.
permit me.
Now kiss me finally. Wish I had never set eyes on you.
No, it's better as it is.
Count, you're a possuer.
I am? Why?
Many a man be happy to be in your shoes right now.
I'm very happy.
Oh, I thought happiness didn't exist. Why do you look at me like that? I believe you're afraid of me, Count.
I told you, Fräulein. You're a problem.
Oh, don't bother with me with philosophy. Come here and ask me for something. You can have whatever you like. You're too handsome.
Well, then I beg leave to return tonight.
Tonight? But I'm playing tonight.
After the theater.
You asked for nothing else?
I'll ask for everything else. After the theater.
Then you can ask, you wretched poser.
You see, Fräulein, you see, my dear, we've been frank with each other till now. I'd find it all so much nicer in the evening after the theater. It'll be so much more comfortable. At present, you see, I've the feeling the door's going to open at any moment.
This door doesn't open from the outside.
Fräulein, wouldn't it be frivolous to spoil something at the start? When it might just possibly turn out to be beautiful?
Just possibly?
And to tell you the truth, I'd find love in the morning pretty frightful.
You're the craziest man I've ever come across.
I'm not talking about ordinary females. After all, in general, it doesn't matter, but women like you, Fräulein. No, you can call me a fool as often you like, but women like you, well, one shouldn't have them before breakfast, that's all. And so, well...
You're sweet.
Now you see I'm right, don't you? What I have in mind?
Tell me, what do you have in mind?
What I mean is, I'll wait for you after the theater, in my carriage, that we could drive off somewhere, well, and have supper, and...
I am not Fräulein Birkin.
I didn't say you were, dear. Only one must be in the mood. I get in the mood at supper. It's lovely to drive home after supper, and then...
And then...
let events take their natural course.
Just come closer. Closer?
I must say, that perfume that comes from those pillows, mignonette, is it?
It's hot in here, don't you think?
The Count bends down and kisses her throat.
My dear Count, this isn't on your program.
Who says so? I have no program. It is hot.
You find it so? And dark? Like evening? It is evening, Count. It's night. Shut your eyes if it's too light for you. Come, come.
The Count no longer defends himself. The aftermath. The actress is pleased. The Count is conflicted.
What's that about being in the mood, you possuer?
You're a little devil.
Count.
All right, a little angel.
And you should have been an actor, really. You understand women. Do you know what I'm going to do now?
Well,
I'm going to tell you I never want to see you again.
why?
You're too dangerous for me. You turn a woman's head and now you stand there as if nothing has happened.
But
I beg you to remember, my dear Count, that I've just been your mistress.
can I ever forget it?
So how about tonight?
What do you mean exactly?
You intended to meet me after the theater.
Oh, yes, all right. Let's say the day after tomorrow.
The day after tomorrow? We were talking about tonight.
There wouldn't be much sense in that.
Bogey,
You misunderstand me. I mean, how should I say, from the spiritual viewpoint?
it's not your spirit that interests me.
Believe me, it's all part of it. I don't agree that these things can be kept separate.
Don't talk philosophy at me. When I want that, I read books.
But we never learn from books.
That's true. And that's why you'll be there tonight. We'll come to an agreement about the spiritual viewpoint, you old rascal.
Then, with your permission, I'll wait in my carriage.
You'll wait here in my apartment.
After the theater.
Of course.
The Count buckles on his saber.
What are you doing?
I think it's time to go, Fraulein. I've been staying rather long as it is for a formal visit.
Well, it won't be a formal visit tonight.
Think not?
Just leave it to me. And now give me one more kiss, little philosopher. Here, you seducer, you sweet thing, spiritualist, you pulpit, you.
After several empathetic kisses, she empathetically pushes him away.
My dear Count, it was a great honor.
I kiss your hand, Fraulein. Au revoir.
Adieu, tiny town of Steinmanger.
She waves at him as he closes the door. She sighs happily. 10. The Count and the Whore. Morning, towards 6 o'clock. A mean little room with one window. The dirty yellow blinds are down, frayed green curtains, a chest of drawers with a few photographs on it, and a cheap lady's hat in conspicuously bad taste. Several cheap Japanese fans behind the mirror. On the table, covered with a reddish cloth, stands a kerosene lamp, still feebly and odorously alight, with a yellow paper lampshade next to the lamp, a jug with a little leftover beer and a half-empty glass. On the floor by the bed, untidy feminine clothing, apparently thrown off in a hurry. The whore is asleep in the bed, breathing evenly. On the sofa lies the Count, fully dressed and in a light overcoat. His hat is on the floor by the head of the sofa.
However did I get? Oh. So I did go home with that female. Oh, why? There she is. To think what all can still happen to a man of my age. I don't remember a thing. Did they carry me up? No. I remember seeing when I got into the room, yes, I was still awake then, or I woke up, or perhaps it's only that the room reminds me of something. Upon my soul, yes, I saw it last night. That's all. Last night indeed. A few hours ago, I knew something had to happen. Yesterday, when I started drinking, I felt that. And what happened? Nothing. Or did I? Upon my soul. The last time I couldn't remember was 10 years ago. Thing is, I was drunk. If only I knew when it started. I remember exactly going into that whore's cafe with Lulu and no. First we left the soccer and then on the way it started. Now I've got it. I was driving in my carriage with Lulu. Silly to rack my brains. It's all one. I'll be on my way. She sleeps soundly, that one. I can't remember a thing. I'll put the money on the bedside table and goodbye. If one didn't know what she is. I've known quite a lot of girls who didn't look so virtuous, even in their sleep. Upon my soul, now Lulu would say I'm philosophizing. But it's true. Sleep does make us all equal, it seems to me. Like his big brother, death. I'd like to know if... No, after all, that's something I'd remember. No, I dropped down on the sofa right away and nothing happened. It's incredible how women can all look alike. Let's go.
He goes to the door.
Oh, there's that.
He takes out his wallet and is about to get a bill when the whore wakes up.
Who is here so early? Oh, hey.
Good morning. Slept well?
Oh, come here. Little kiss.
I was just going.
Going?
It's time, really.
You want to go like this?
Well...
Oh, so long then. Come back and see us.
Yes, goodbye. Don't you want to shake hands?
The whore pulls her hand from under the blanket and offers it.
As if you were a princess. Anyway, if one only...
Why do you look at me like that?
If one only sees the head as now, when they wake up, they all look innocent. Upon my soul, one really could imagine all sorts of things if the place didn't reek so of kerosene.
Yes, that lamp's a pest.
How old are you, actually?
Well, what do you think?
24?
Oh, sure.
Older? And how long have you been...
In the business? A year.
You did start early.
Did I? Better too early than too late.
Tell me,
Hmm?
are you happy?
What?
Well, I mean, how's it going? Well,
I'm doing all right.
I see. Tell me, did it ever occur to you to do something different?
What could I do?
Well, you're a pretty woman after all. You could have a lover, for instance.
Think I don't?
I know, but I mean, one lover who keeps you, so you don't have to go with just any man.
I don't go with just any man. I can afford to be choosy, thank goodness. Next month, we're moving into town, the Spiegelgas.
We? Who?
Oh, the madam and a couple of the other girls.
There are others here?
In the next room. Can't you hear? That's Millie. She was at the cafe too.
Somebody's snoring.
That's Millie, all right. She'll snore all day till 10 in the evening. Then she'll get up and go to the cafe.
That's an appalling sort of life.
You said it. And the madam gets fed up with her. I'm always on the streets at 12 noon.
What do you do on the streets at 12 noon?
What do you think? I'm on my beat.
Oh, yes, I see. Of course. Goodbye.
Going already? So long. Come again soon.
Listen, tell me something. It doesn't mean a thing to you by now?
What?
I mean, you don't have fun with it anymore?
Oh, I'm sleepy.
It's all the same to you if a man is young or old, or if he...
What are you asking all this for?
Well, upon my soul, now I know who you remind me of. It's
So I look like somebody, do I?
incredible, quite incredible. Now I beg you, please don't say a word for at least a minute. Exactly the same face. Exactly the same face.
He suddenly kisses her on the eyes.
Upon my soul, it's a pity you aren't something else. You could make your fortune.
You're like Franz.
Who's Franz?
Oh, the waiter at our cafe.
How am I just like Franz?
He always says I could make my fortune and I should marry him.
Why don't you?
Thank you very much. I don't want no marriage, not for anything. Well, maybe later.
The eyes. Exactly the same eyes. Lulu'd certainly say I'm a fool, but I'm going to kiss your eyes once more like this.
He kisses each eyelid and after a moment kisses her lips. She is surprised, but reciprocates. It is the first true kiss of the evening.
And now goodbye. God bless you. I'm going.
So long.
Listen. Tell me, aren't you a little bit surprised
Why?
that I want nothing from you?
There's a lot of men don't feel like it in the morning.
Well, yes. It's too silly that I'd like her to be surprised. Goodbye, then. Really, it annoys me. I know such girls are interested in nothing but the money, but why do I say such girls? At least it's nice that she doesn't pretend. It's a relief, or it should be. Listen, I'll come again soon, you know.
Good.
When are you usually in?
I'm always in. Just ask for Leocadia.
Leocadia. Right. Well, goodbye. I've not got the wine out of my head yet. Isn't it the limit? Spend the night with one of these, and all I do is kiss her eyes because she reminds me of someone. Tell me, Leocadia, does it often happen that a man goes away like this?
Like what?
Like me.
In the morning?
No, I mean, has it occasionally happened that a man was with you and didn't want anything?
No, that's never happened.
Well, what do you think is the matter? Do you think that I don't like you?
Why shouldn't you like me? Last night you liked me all right.
I like you now, too.
Last night you liked me better.
What makes you think so?
Talk silly.
Last night, tell me, didn't I drop down on the sofa right away?
Sure you did. With me.
With you?
Sure. You don't remember?
Well,
But you went right off to sleep after.
I went right off.
Mhm.
I see. So that's how it was.
Yes. So, you must have been good and drunk if you can't remember.
I see. All the same, there is a faint resemblance. Goodbye. What's going on?
Well, the chambermaid started work. Look, give her something as you go out. The front door is open, so you save on the janitor.
Right. So, it would have been beautiful if I'd only kissed your eyes. I would almost have been an adventure. Well, I suppose it wasn't to be. Oh, here. Good night. Oh, of course. Good morning. Good morning.
The Count leaves. The horse smiles and goes back to sleep. The sun rises. Curtain.